Hello guys, welcome. It's me, Virtual Gaming. I'm doing another sip. So if you guys had a sip of the last one, see what I did there. It was basically about what was it? Never Grind. I forget these games so easily. It's getting really bad. What was it? Now I need to look it up. I'm really bad at this. So the game. All right, yeah, Never Grind. That was what it was called. So anyway, the game I'm doing today is actually did I seriously forget it? You've got to be kidding me. Halfway. I have really bad memory for some reason. Do not know why. Anyway, the game's halfway. It's a really fun game, and I'm going to at some points compare this to XCOM because it does remind me of XCOM, but it's not XCOM. It's a different game. These are two separate games, but they're both really good. I kind of prefer this one right now just because of the way it is. I like it. It's cool. I'd want to play it. Well, I did like playing it, obviously, as we're right here now, are we not? So, yeah. So this game, I'm going to talk a little bit about it. Basically, so I don't know what it's actually called. I guess it's warp drive. I forgot. So like your ship's warp drive got messed up and it launched your ship way into space, from what I understand. And like your crew is turned against you, except for a few people. Mainly the technicians are against you. They turned or something happened. They're trying to kill you now. But you are still alive, and you're basically, I don't know exactly what you're trying to do, but from what I understand, you're trying to figure out what happened, and you're trying to get rid of these monsters on your ship. Like any game. No, actually, this game, it's really, because most games, they grasp the concept of aliens have invaded Earth. This time, it's the humans have turned against you, basically, and that's something different. That's something that XCOM didn't do. That's something that a lot of things don't do. Now, XCOM kinda did this, to an extent, where, they could brainwash humans, stuff like that, but not this way, and I really like it when games try to make, a new take on aliens and enemies and games like this, because it gets old when, you see the same thing 500 times, does it not? But this game really did it well, I feel, and I mean, I'm enjoying it. What more is there to say? So, some of the things that I do not like about it, I mentioned this in the review actually, the written review. The combat at times. Basically, like the hit ratio, or the hit percentage, the chance you have of hitting, it does not feel right. Um, XCOM, and I'm gonna compare this to XCOM in a few points, but once again, they're two different games. If I didn't already say that, they have similar things, like the Overwatch, which is, I forgot what they call it in this game. Let me look really quick. Um, Retaliate, stuff like that, and I love it when stuff like that happens. That they took things and they changed it and they made it different, so we don't get bored of it. Because if I see Overwatch in this game, I'm like, oh, okay, it's Overwatch. They really put, and you really have to relearn it. But back to the combat. So in XCOM, if you have like, more than 51% chance of hitting, you're almost always going to hit. Not in this game. I've gotten a 92% chance of a hit and a miss. So this game is definitely a little bit more luck based than strategy based. Because in XCOM, if you could get close enough to the enemy, they were dead, and you had to use strategy. And most of the time, here's another thing with these two games, just completely different. Went completely different ways. So in XCOM, you can wait out, and you're in XCOM Enemy Unknown. XCOM Enemy Unknown, you can wait out, and your enemies will kind of come to you. Sure, you'll have to move around a little bit, but for the most part, you're staying in the same place. In this game, it's not so much. You have to play very offensive, and you have to, really, you know, attack, shall I say. So I'm looking, I paused it here. Must have been doing something, I don't know. So yeah, don't worry, you're not going crazy. Your video's not going crazy. I was just doing something. Do not know. Oh well. So yeah, you had to be a lot more offensive in your strategies, because if you stay back and you miss, you're screwed. Because they're going to charge at you, and if you cannot get a good hit on them first, they're going to completely annihilate you. But the nice thing about this is not part of XCOM Enemy Unknown. This is an RPG, which means that for it to be effective, its characters can't really die. if you know what I mean. So like, if all your characters die, you just respawn at the beginning of the level. That's what happened to me. Or you can go back to your home base. But like I said, these games are two different games. This is an RPG. XCOM is more of a story-driven strategy turn-based. So you see what I'm saying here? They're not really the same. Another thing that this is really cool about the combat system, I really like this. So you're going to notice that there's going to be like med kits and there's going to be a number next to them. And you're also going to see the reload when I click the character like you saw just a minute ago. Like you saw that little thing under him. It's almost like a little smiley face, I guess. You know, it's a little U-ish curvy line thing. I don't know what to call it. I can't think today. But that that basically the health and the reload are two things I'm going to talk about, and they're really, really cool. So the health, you have to get med kits. You know, you're going to die pretty much, except for a few characters. One can heal themselves, but that's not what I'm talking about. So if you find a med kit in like those boxes, and the boxes that are flickering have loot in them. So if you find a med kit in it, or ammunition, or a gun or armor, stuff like that, you can equip it. The health kit and the ammo, though, just stay in your inventory. Whenever you need to heal yourself up, it'll use an action point, and most of you will know what that is from just other like XCOM Enemy Unknown, and that's basically, it determines how much you can do per turn. This is actually one of the more early on battles, as you can see right now. Just gonna see how like the yellow area uses 2 action points. If you didn't notice that, it does, and the blue area uses 1. Well, reloading, which would take out 1 ammunition, that you got, but it, reloads your weapon, that's important, obviously. Or healing, which uses 1 health kit and that heals you. Both of them are important, but it will use an action point, so that means you'll be able to do less that turn, and most of the time that means you won't be able to effectively attack, because you need a very high percentage most of the time to hit, unless you're super lucky. And that's what really brings in the strategy, things like that. So, I think that's really neat, and I enjoy that part. I think it's cool. And that's something that, games like XCOM don't have. And that's what makes games like this exciting. If you run out of ammo, you got to get another one of your characters, run around the battlefield and fetch some, and then hand it off to another character so they can reload. It gets really strategic, but I don't like the hit ratio thing, because that makes it more luck-based. But it also makes it more difficult. It adds more strategy. It makes it a little bit more hardcore. And I'd like it if they could do, like make it, change some stuff. I don't know. I don't really expect them to, because it's a good game, and that's my only complaint. And if I don't have a complaint about a game, it's going to look like, I'm sucking up to them, which I never do. But yeah, that's really the only thing. But things about this game get more exciting when you look into the modding, and that's what I love about games like this. And the sad thing is, they don't have a lot of, mods and stuff on their Steam Workshop, and I wish they did, because this is one of the games that truly deserves, new levels and all that. And I'm surprised that more people have not played it. It's an amazing game. It may be a little bit expensive at $13, but you're getting the game, you're getting, a level editor for it. It's, honestly, yeah, I'd expect to get, the game for maybe $7 or $8 and the level editor for $4. They're basically bundling them together just because of how nice the level editor is. It's an amazing piece of software, and it's something that even I can use. And the best part is the devs actually have tutorial on YouTube. Just look up like Halfway Modding, and it's a 3-part series. You can check that out. It teaches you a lot, and I love it when, they do stuff like this, because they're telling the community, hey, get out there and make levels so people can play them. They're giving you everything you need. You just need to, get the creativity, which I have none of. But yeah, that's really cool, and I love it when, companies do stuff like that. But overall, guys, this is an amazing game. Now, if you don't enjoy these turn-based strategy games, I wouldn't recommend it. But if you like level creating, it's worth it just for that. I mean, honestly, that's how much I love the modding and they really do need people, to get out there and put stuff in the Steam Workshop and use it. I mean, Steam has a workshop there for a reason, and I really wish that people would use that effectively, because it has so much potential. It's just, gives me chills just to think about how cool this game can be if we get a huge community. And I really, some games they have a big community, but this doesn't seem to have that, and it really needs it. Because this game could be amazing. Like, it could be comparable, definitely, in sales to XCOM if, people got the word out. So, yeah, tell your friends, tell everybody you know. Because I really want this game, to become something. And it'd be really neat if it does. Just because of how awesome the modding is. And just to think about, how creative some people are. And for them to make stuff. So, yeah, guys, that's Sips on Halfway. Halfway? Yeah, Sips on Halfway. Sipping halfway. Hope you enjoyed. This was a lot of fun for me to play. I honestly loved it. I recorded about an hour, but I can only use this much, so it doesn't take me voice crack. So it doesn't take me, years to render and upload. So yeah, guys, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed, and please check this game out. I'll put some links down in the description.